Chapter 7. Fractures Beneath the Surface. Days passed since the mirror shattered, but the tension between Ivy and Albus did not. The spark that had ignited beneath the castle now burned with too many unspoken questions. Ivy withdrew slowly, burying herself in the library and her classes. The shadow that had escaped the mirror haunted the castle in whispers, unexplained chills, and students waking with strange marks on their arms. Albus tried to stay close, but Ivy was distant. She feared him now, not because of anything he had done, but because of what she had seen reflected in his memory, a moment he never meant to share. In one of the memory mirrors, she had seen a version of him, not just holding the letter, but answering to it. He had been part of this longer than he let on. One evening in the astronomy tower, Ivy finally asked, "Why didn't you tell me everything?" Albus didn't pretend not to understand. "Because I didn't want to scare you away," he said, the wind tugging at his dark green robes. "You reminded me of someone I failed." "Celine?" she asked. He hesitated. "No, someone else. Someone I only remember in dreams." That was when Ivy knew. They were both haunted, not just by the past, but by echoes of something greater. Chapter 8. Shadows in the Blood. The school grew colder. Magic acted strangely around Ivy. Quills moved on their own near her. Portraits turned their faces as she passed. And once, during defense against the dark arts, her spell misfired so powerfully that the professor had to call in the headmistress. That night, she confronted the Mirror of Erised. It had been hidden in a new location, one only the Room of Requirement had revealed. But the image it showed wasn't love or success. It was Cassian. Dark hair, violet eyes, and a mark across his wrist in the shape of the rune, Again. He whispered her name with reverence and sorrow. "You left me behind." Ivy screamed. She collapsed. When she awoke, Albus was by her side. "Ivy, talk to me, please." She pulled away. "You knew more. About all this, about Celine, about me. I didn't know you'd be the one. I only knew I had to wait for her return." "Return?" she asked. "You think I'm Celine?" Albus looked pained. "No, I think you're something more, something that's always been waiting to awaken." That night, she left him in the corridor, her eyes stinging with tears. The boy she had begun to love had chosen a mystery over the truth, and Ivy hated that it hurt so much. Chapter 9. The Truth Buried in Ashes. Ivy turned to the only place where secrets could hide safely. The Forbidden Forest. There she met Ferenzi, the centaur who had once taught divination. He watched her with ancient eyes. "You are not merely a reflection," he said. "You are the daughter of a forgotten magic. Celine was your ancestor, But Cassian, he was her undoing. Who was he? A boy born of prophecy, torn between light and dark. He loved Celine, and when she betrayed their pact, the magic turned on them both. He was cursed. She vanished. And now, in you, the echo stirs again. Ivy returned to the castle with the truth, only to find Albus waiting by the fireplace of the common room she could no longer call home. "You look like you've seen a ghost," he said. "I am one." He tried to reach for her, but she stepped back. "You chose the secret, Albus, not me." "I chose you," he said desperately. "Everything I've done was to protect you." "Then why do I feel more alone when I'm with you than when I'm not?" The flames behind her flickered blue. Something had followed her from the forest. Chapter 10. The Betrayal of Cassian. In the Ravenclaw Tower, the ghost of Celine Ravenshade appeared to Ivy in the mirror once more. But this time, she spoke aloud. "You must finish what I could not." Cassian walks again. Not as a boy, but as a fragment. He's in the school. In him lies the death of magic. Ivy turned to Albus the next day with a single question. "Did you know Cassian was alive?" His silence was an answer. "I didn't think he would find you," Albus said. "But I hoped. If I stayed close, I could stop it." Ivy's heartbreak hardened into coal. "You used me." "No. I loved you. I still do." "Then why didn't you tell me the truth from the beginning?" "Because I didn't want to lose you," he whispered. Tears slid down her face. "Then you should have known lying would make that happen anyway." She left him standing alone, heart split and unraveling. Chapter 11. The Silence Between. They didn't speak for days. Not during meals, not in the halls. Albus tried to send messages. Ivy burned them. She found solace only in Yera, who brought her a final letter sealed in the same lavender-scented parchment. It said, "The final reckoning comes at moon's rise. Choose love or legacy. You cannot have both." She looked at Albus across the hall. He was staring too, but now there was distance, regret, a wall she no longer wished to climb. And yet, the pain she felt proved something terrifying. She still loved him. Chapter 12. Beneath the Final Moon. The night of the reckoning arrived. Ivy stood beneath the shattered mirror's remains, wand in hand. The shadow appeared, Cassian's form flickering, half boy, half memory. "Ivy," he said, with Celane's voice overlapping his own. "You can end the curse, but you must bind yourself to the magic. Or let me consume what's left." Albus appeared, wand raised. "No, she's not your vessel." Cassian laughed. "And you?" Still pretending you didn't bring her here for this? Ivy stared at Albus. He didn't deny it. He just said, I didn't expect to love you. Ivy stepped forward. You still don't understand. This isn't about you or him. This is about me finally choosing my truth. She lifted her wand and whispered the name that had haunted her. Cassian. The light exploded around them. Cassian screamed. Albus shouted her name. The stones trembled. And Ivy vanished into the spell.